Hey guys, my name's Kris Meredith and I'm one of your presenters here at Psychic today. So today I'm talking all about inspiring kindness with ourselves and of course with others. Going to be a good conversation as well. So first of all, joining me with the chat, we have the lovely Heather. How you doing, Heather?
Oh, I'm great, thank you. How are you today?
Always good when you're involved, lovely. And of course we've
Oh,
got the
thank you.
beautiful Psychic Ellen. How you doing, Ellen?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm happy as always. You know what I'm like, constantly giving it bing.
Love it. I'm sure we need a little flash there. Love that, Ellen. Well, first of all, I'm going to bring you both in because, it's so kind, to be important, and to be important with ourselves is kindness, but also to be kind to ourselves and others. I mean, how important do you think that is, first of all, guys? I'll start with Heather, first of all.
Oh, it's so important because kindness is a way of showing love. So it shows, love for yourself, but it shows love for your friends, your nearest and dearest, your family. So kindness is just one of the things that we can do every day to just spread the love and spread our light out there in the world.
Definitely is. It definitely is. How about yourself, Psychic Ellen?
Do you know what? It's one of those things. For me, kindness exists every day in so many different ways as well. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something huge to show an act of kindness. It can be something tiny. The smallest gesture can actually brighten somebody else's day. So for me, it's something that I've always done. I've always done it. Doesn't matter. I have to do it. It's just though it is in my makeup, basically. It's the way I am.
Well, it's a good habit to get into. It really, really is a good habit, for ourselves. And that relationship with ourselves is just so important. So, Heather, do you think that relationship with ourselves is, really important, first of all?
Well, absolutely, because, you have to live with yourself first and foremost. So I think it's important to like yourself and recognize when you need to be kind to yourself. That's really important. People don't always give themselves credit. They don't always allow themselves opportunities to have a bit of me time. You can say me time. And just, give yourself a break sometimes as well. Life can get challenging, and it's good to remember that you need to take a step back and look after yourself. And when you're at your best, then you can look after the people around you.
You can. When you're number one, you definitely can. How about yourself, Ellen?
Do you know what? That's one of the biggest empath traits on the planet. Basically, empaths, our instinct is to help others all the time. But we often do neglect ourselves. But the problem with that is that when you start to neglect yourself, you're no good to anyone else because it kind of drains your energy all the time. So it is important to prioritize yourself, concentrate on self-care. But the main key with it is to learn that taking self-care is not being selfish. It's actually maintenance. I see it as maintenance all the time. So it's a bit like take a day off and that is your little self-care maintenance, because if you're too exhausted or run down, you can't then put that back out and help others, can you? It's a bit like a depleted fund.
It is. It's like a phone battery, when it's dying, it can't run on its best. It can't shine the way it's meant to shine. And, we're, without being, selfish, we're the most important people, which, is ourselves, for us to help other people. But a big thing I always find as well is, negativity. That can always be a drain on our emotions. So if we are in kind of like a bit of a negative situation there, Heather, I mean, how can we shift ourselves out of that?
Wow, that is an excellent question. One of the things I do, and I know a lot of people have done this before, so it's nothing new, it's not rocket science, and that is to express yourself through music, whether it be just put on a song you really, really like, something that's uplifting, or something that just matches your mood. Music is so therapeutic. It helps you get out all of those emotions. And sometimes it's the lyrics that really make the difference to you, and sometimes it's just the actual sound and the way that it makes you feel. Like live music, for example, nothing better. You know, you can actually feel it in your body, to go to a live show or to just hear somebody playing in front of you. That it just really affects you, and it can lift you up, and it can just get out all of that energy that's just not necessary right now. You don't need it. Get it out, release it.
Oh,
So
love
yeah,
it.
music is my top tip.
Like that. Thank you, Karen. How about yourself? How do you get rid of that negative kind of moment?
I don't. Oh, you're gonna laugh now. What I tend to do is have Fort Knox of crystals around me at all times. Always working with the energies of crystals, as you know. So for me, it's like any excuse to go and get another crystal, by the way. But you learn to actually put your barriers up and protect yourself. It's a bit like having negative person radar. So as soon as you feel something negative, you just push it away. I mean, I do a lot of writing positive affirmations to share with everyone else. So for me, I will write something positive to then put out there for everyone else to try and lift their mood as well. It's about thought patterns, isn't it? A lot of it. It's the way you think, quite literally.
No, it is. It is the way you think. It really is. And one thing, you know, about thinking that we can all do, you know, is have unkind thoughts. You know, sometimes with social media and all that pressure that's out there, you know, sometimes we can get up and we can just, you know, be unkind to ourselves by our thoughts. So, you know, how can we challenge that situation when we do have unkind thoughts with ourselves? I'll start with you, Heather.
Oh, that is so difficult. It is a challenge because patterns are very easy to form. I think it takes something like 14 days to form a pattern, and it can take weeks, months, years to break a pattern. So when you catch yourself thinking about yourself negatively, it's important to maybe, first of all, take a step back and try to be objective. Try and look at it from an outsider's point of view, and you might still come to the same conclusion, but that's just like one step. That's just one thing you can do. Other things you can do is, if you catch yourself having that negative thought, before you finish the thought, just go, right, stopping that there. Stop. I need to change what I'm doing. I need to find something else to do now that's maybe a bit nicer. I'll distract myself. So you're kind of reinforcing the positivity by stopping yourself in your tracks. Stop that thought. Go watch something, go read something, go outside, just do something completely different that will take you out of that mindset for, even if it's a moment. And again, put some music on. Just change it up, make it different.
I love that. How about yourself, Psychic Ellen?
Do you know what? For me, I've always got the same affirmation in mind for anybody that kind of struggles with negative thinking, because a lot of it is actually thought cycles and it's thought patterns. It becomes habits over time. So the way that I always say to everybody, if you imagine putting a hot coal in your hand and holding on to it, it's actually going to burn your hand, isn't it? So the second you change your thought patterns and let go of that hot coal, it will soon distract you away very quickly from thinking negatively all the time, because you suddenly realize the only person you're hurting is actually yourself. So it's about literally changing the way you think, looking at the different perspectives and the things that you can do very quickly to change those thought patterns. Like Heather said, you know, if you go for a walk, you go outside, dance around your kitchen like a loon, which I often do, but all those things will literally snap you out of feeling negative very, very quickly, because it is, you know, you only have to tell somebody something 3 times for them to actually believe it. So a lot of what goes on in media and, you know, all those types of places, if somebody tells you 3 times, you know, you're not very good at that, you then start to believe it. But it's actually more about taking a step back, believing in yourself and gaining your confidence again, because it kind of goes off in many different directions. So once you've got those things in control, in theory, you become kind of, as I would describe it, bomb-proof. Nothing will get to you. You know, you lose all fear habits, you lose everything, and you're just there. And you can cope with a lot of things, you know, that are normally stressful as well. It just makes you more stable, would be a good word. Take
It is a good word.
It is,
It is
yes.
a
You
good
can take
word.
on
It is a good
anything,
word,
nothing
stable.
you.
Like that. Take that for myself. But one thing, kindness, it can be a two-way street. So, when we're reaching out to other people, it can surprise us how lovely people can be, can it? I'll take that to you, Heather, first.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's always nice to be surprised nicely by another person's reaction to your kindness, because you kind of feel you are putting yourself out there for that other person. And, that's a strength to do that, to put yourself out there for somebody else. And whether they usually they will respond in a very positive way, and that helps to feed and build both of you up, feed up and build up your positivity. Like, if you're I suppose the typical example would be out in the street and you'd smile at someone, but of course we're all wearing face coverings now, so that's difficult. We can't just do that little smile, that gesture. So maybe come up with another way of just expressing. You might have to actually say hello to people now and use your voice and to say, oh, how are you today? Like, I live in quite a friendly neighborhood. People do stop and speak to one another, passing in the street, on the way to the corner shop, so it's nice. It's really, really nice, especially, the people around here, a lot of them are elderly. They might be on their own a lot of the time. So it's nice to take 10 minutes to stop and have a chat with someone and just, how's your day going? It doesn't have to be deep and meaningful, just a nice little moments that you can share with somebody who's a stranger, but also now a friend. And hopefully they will spread that kindness to somebody else as well.
Which is what it's all about. How about yourself, Psychic Ellen? I mean, it can lift us up, can't it?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it can be a bit of a two-way street as well, because sometimes I had an experience a few years ago, and this was quite an unusual one, because as you know, my old career that I used to do was a vehicle damage assessor. So I'm innocently on my way to work one morning, and I've driven out of my road, and then I'm faced with a lady stranded across 6 lanes because she'd just been hit. Yeah. So I thought, I can't leave her there. I'm just going to get out and I'm going to give her a hand, move her car, phoned her husband, let him know she's absolutely fine, not a problem. And I sat there with her until he could get there. But 4 hours later, I could not believe it when that particular vehicle actually landed in the workshop where I was working, along with the other one involved. So from one aspect of kindness that was totally innocent, it kind of transpired back the other way, which I really wasn't expecting. Do you see what I mean? I was like, why do I recognise that car? And it's like, oh, I helped her earlier. But, this is the whole point. When you show an act of kindness, in other respects, it can actually come back twofold, threefold. So even the smallest act that you've done quite innocently actually brings in a lot of abundance. It's that feel-good factor, isn't it? When you help somebody, it makes you feel good, but that makes them feel good as well, because they're actually getting that help when they need it most. And that's the key part with it. Most people, when we have these random acts of kindness, it will always be for the other person when they need it most in their life. It's quite an unusual thing when you look at the timing of it. But yeah, for me, that was a big one that I did once, and it really shocked me a bit, to be fair.
That's good, but it just shows you, doesn't it, how positive it can be to be kind. So, within ourselves, thinking positively, having those positive thoughts, if we do that every single day, think we're amazing, be amazing and pass that on to other people. Do you think that can create a bit of a positive shift, when it comes to kindness? I'll bring it to you, Heather, first.
Oh, of course it can. Of course it can. Because if someone has been kind to you, you then feel like on top of the world. Like, you don't know why this person has selected you to be kind to, but it makes you feel really, really good. It makes you feel heard, it makes you feel respected, and it makes you feel worthwhile. So then, because you've got that good feeling just from a random act of kindness, you then want other people to start experiencing this revolution of being kind, or someone being kind to you. So then that then makes you, or prompts you, to go out there and be kind to somebody else. That could be that day, might be the next week, but I think it does just keep going. It snowballs, because you know, you get to like that feeling as well of knowing that you've helped somebody, so it helps you to do more and more. And you know, if you see someone who, you know, they need a hand, they, whatever it might be, however, you just kind of think to yourself, and again, it's that empath thing, you just think, I can help that person. I have some power here that I can help that person cross the streets, put their shopping in the car, you know, make them a meal, you know, anything, but you just feel like you can do it.
Definitely. How about yourself, Psychic Ellen?
Yeah, do you know what? Heather's absolutely spot on. It becomes, in a way, it's a bit like a Mexican wave. One person helps one person, and then it follows on. I mean, it kind of does grow, you know. It's like, do you know what? We should do actually a bit of a challenge on the show, I reckon. One act of kindness per day, per psychic, and we post them all on the Facebook page, and we'll see what effects it actually has, and how other people join in with it, and that will actually display that Mexican wave effect. So that's it, guys. We're gonna have to set up.
We do. What could you call it? Hashtag psychic change or something. We'll do it. We'll definitely.
Yeah. It's got to be done, because it will actually truly show that even a small act of kindness can grow, and you can end up with something so colossal come the end of it that none of us would really have expected at all. But it is contagious. Kindness is contagious. That's all there is with it.
It really is. It really is. I mean, you know, around the world, you know, and everywhere, you know, everyone isn't kind every single day, and we're not kind to ourselves every single day. But if we lived in that ideal world where every single person was as kind to themselves and to everybody else, what do you think the world would look like? So Heather, I'll start with you.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that is the ultimate kind of fantasy of beautiful harmony planets, isn't it? I mean, that would just be wonderful. But like you just said something there about being kind to ourselves, but you said be kind to other people first. But actually, if you're not kind to yourself, then maybe you don't know how to be kind to other people, how to put that kindness out there. So maybe kindness does need to start with us first, and then when we know what it's like to experience kindness, then we're going to want to have that more and more, and put that out there for other people to know what it feels like as well. So yeah, maybe it should start with ourselves first, and then like the Mexican wave, we'll get it out there.
I love it. How about yourself, Psychic Ellen?
You're going to laugh now, Chris. In my world, if it was the perfect world and everyone was happy and just being kindness and selfless all the time, what would it look like? It would actually look like my notebook, which you're going to laugh at now. It would be very pink and fluffy, and it would say yeah on the front. It would be so soft and lovely, you know. It would just be... But then again, if it was like that, it would be too easy, wouldn't it? Because we wouldn't have to work on ourselves at all. And that's the key thing with all things in life. Every challenge we face in life is actually to make us take a step back and focus to change the way that we look at things and the way that we react to things. Because when you have certain reactions, it has a knock-on, doesn't it? So if life was too straightforward, we wouldn't grow as people, would we really? So yes, although it would be lovely, nice and fluffy and pink and stuff, but we couldn't have it because we would never grow as people.
That's so true. So true. And a great way to think about it, because, you know, what we go through can make us, you know, stronger, can appreciate ourselves, you know, and other people. So yeah, I wouldn't have thought about it like that. This is why we're doing these psychic elements. I love it. Right. So to wrap this up, guys, okay, just a couple of tips, you know, for our viewers on kindness, you know, to themselves and others. So start with yourself, Heather.
Oh gosh. Right. First of all, if you're feeling an emotion, don't be afraid of that emotion. You know, work with it. Try and figure out what the deeper meaning behind this emotion is. But more importantly, instead of holding on to it, you need to find a way to release it, get rid of it. Whether that, I mean, that could be exercise. I mean, we hear it all the time, don't we? Like, take regular exercise, make sure you look after yourself. But it really is true. It is that necessary for your general well-being, I think. And so, yeah, be kind to yourself, take time out. Feel like, yes, I do need to have a selfish hour, even if you just kind of lie there and do nothing and have silence. Just do that. That's what you want to do. If you feel like doing something that's a little bit silly, go ahead and do that. I do silly stuff all the time. But, you know, you got to get it out. If that's how you feel like, that's what you feel like doing, then that's what you got to do. Like, make somebody laugh. You know, that's also, you're being kind to yourself and you're being kind to other people. So, yeah, just a couple of tips there.
Love it, Heather. How about yourself, Psychic Ellen?
You know what? One of the main things that I always tell everybody, it's okay to take a time out. It's almost like a lot of people feel they have to give themselves permission to either stop working for an hour, take a week's holiday, because they've got this mindset of, I have to do this in this order. So it's all about, it's okay to actually allow yourself to enjoy yourself, go out and have a giggle. Don't worry if you look stupid, because nobody's looking at you anyway. Just kind of be more me, because it's a case of I don't care what's going on. I'll just enjoy it regardless, you know. Yes, I'm one of those that will go in a supermarket, suddenly start dancing around the aisles with my kids going, "What, Mum, stop it." But I don't care, you know what I mean? Because somewhere it's going to make somebody laugh. Plus, it shows you're happy in your own skin, doesn't it, really? You know, a lot of what goes on, it's how people think that others perceive them as well. So it's just about random act of kindness, be kind to yourself, but more importantly, be happy with yourself.
Definitely. So important. Well, lovely Heather, Psychic Ellen, you know, all about kindness to ourselves and to other people. You know, it's been a joy. Thank you so much. And of course, I'll see you very soon on the show. Much love.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for having us.
See you later, guys.
Did you enjoy that video? If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now.